Hello everyone. First of all, my apologies. I have a bit of a cold, so I'm rather bunged up and therefore probably not the best of things to be listening to right now. So I thought I'd bring you a short video today looking at some recently arrived bits and pieces, or rather some recently collected bits and pieces. I was very pleased this past weekend to be able to visit my friend Alan Pryor, who'd put some bits and pieces to one side for me, and I was able to collect them whilst visiting. And so what we're going to have a look at in this video are these bits and pieces which I've picked up this past weekend. Without further ado, we'll get into the main part of the video now and have a look at these various items. So the first thing to have a look at here is a cover for the two-part entrenching tool. Fairly standard fare really, though this particular example is Indian made. And you can see the distinctive stripe in the webbing stock used to make the body of the cover here. That's quite distinctive of Indian manufactured webbing. The inspection stamp on the side here. The construction is fairly standard, as you can see. We've got two rivets reinforcing the construction there, shapes with the buckles to allow this to be carried on the brace ends. If we turn it around again, you can see, if I open this up here, we have a little hole in the loop here. This was once fitted with a press stud, the male section of a press stud, and we can see stitching here where a strap had been fitted. So this has been modified post-war to have a strap coming around to help secure the helve across, which sits in these two loops across the top here. So you'd have a strap coming around with a female section of a newie press stud on it, and then a male section here, and that would snap onto there and help secure the helve. That's subsequently been removed. And then inside you can see we have drill lining material there. So very nice to have, as I say, and a good addition to the Indian 1937 pattern web equipment. Not all that common to find, so very kind of Alan to put this aside for me, surplus to his requirements, so thank you again Alan for that. The next thing to have a look at here is a breech cover or action cover for the Enfield rifle. Obviously this will fit on a number 1 Mark III or a number 4. This particular example is Australian made, and we'll see details of that in just a moment. You can see details of the construction there. We obviously have the 3 press studs along the bottom there which secure this around the rifle. And then we have a leather lace running through the 2 eyelets at the end here, which allow this to be tied onto the rifle to secure it. If we look inside the female section to the press stud here, I'll bring this up to the light, hopefully it will focus. It may be possible to see in there, we do have the stamp Australia and a manufacturer's initials as well, I believe, but it's not really possible to make those out, or I haven't been able to yet. I need to get out a magnifying glass and a bright light. It may be possible through the camera there, if I move this round and get the light in. So in retrospect you may be able to see better than I can, because obviously bringing it up to the camera here in focus, it does have a slightly magnifying effect, so I'll be interested to have a look back at the footage once I've finished filming this. So an action cover for the Enfield rifle. Next thing to have a look at here is this Home Guard haversack. It's very nice to have an original example of one of these in the collection finally. I've had a repro one for a while for using, but it's very nice to have this original example. We open up the flap here. This was slightly damaged and Alan has done a neat repair where the shoulder strap joins at the top here. There's a bit of stitching there. He's very neatly repaired that, so very happy with that. If we look under the flap here, you can see the date. We've got a lovely clear stamp there, the manufacturer JHB and Company Limited, and then the date of 1940 and the inspection stamp on the other side there. These are of course made of rubberized canvas with very limited fixtures and fittings. They're made to be obviously very cheap. You have a single 1-inch strap made of the same rubberized canvas at the front there with a single 1-inch buckle to secure the flap of the haversack, and at the back here you just have a fixed shoulder strap which you can see here. So something that will feature in more detail going forward probably. Certainly it will feature in future videos looking at Home Guard kit. That's the intention anyway. So Home Guard haversack there. Thank you again for that, Alan. And last but by no means least, the final thing to have a look at is this second pattern Denison smock. Now I'm very, very pleased with this. It's a lovely, tidy example. It is post-war dated. It has unfortunately had the tail removed, which we'll have a look at now. Just have a look here. You can see that the tail has been cut out of here, unfortunately. But it does have a type stamp number in it, as you can see here, in white. And this suggests Royal Marine issue, which is of particular interest to me. So I'm very happy to have this in the collection. It is a post-war dated example. Actually, we can have a quick look at the label while we're here as well. See there, size 4, so a good size, and then 1948 dated there, as you can see. So obviously being second pattern, it would have had, if the tail was still here, you obviously have the press studs at the back here to secure that up at the back. And then if we look at the cuffs here, these are just in with a strap and buttons, as you can see, rather than having any kind of elasticated knit cuff at the end there. You just have the buttons and the little tab there to adjust those in. So very happy with this. It's very tidy. As I say, it is a post-war example, but that's here nor there for me in terms of having one of these. They're rather pricey bits of kit, understandably. They're very desirable. Wartime dated examples, particularly in decent sizes, are quite dear. So I'm very happy with this. It's a very nice, tidy example. As I say, missing the tail, but other than that, very tidy indeed. And I'm very happy to have it. And obviously it will feature in future videos going forward. So there we are. I hope you found it interesting looking at these. If you'd like to see the videos covering these items in more detail going forward, please do consider subscribing if you haven't already. And whether you're newly subscribing or you've previously subscribed, please do make sure you hit the little bell, the notification button down below. That will of course alert you when I upload future videos. If you really like my uploads and you would like to support the channel, you can. Both Patreon and PayPal are linked down below. And over on Patreon, I'm now uploading videos directly so that patrons can watch them ad-free. If you'd like to follow the channel on social media, you can. Facebook, Instagram and Twitter are all linked down below. And if you'd like to get in touch but you don't really use social media, there is of course an email address down below as well. That's everything for this video, so until next time, bye for now.